Welcome to Schmitt Tonight. Happy Monday. On Thursday night, CNN will host the first presidential debate. CNN was clearly Joe Biden's first choice, and Trump was willing to sign off on pretty much anything to just get Biden on a stage. Trump, like the rest of us, are now desensitized to CNN's ridiculous agenda. Unafraid, he appears ready to battle Biden and two moderators trying to keep Joe Biden in office. Dana Bash and Jake Tapper are establishment stooges. You know that. It's proven by their coverage of Trump and the wave of populism that washed over this country with his entrance into presidential politics. Nobody was happier when that wave briefly subsided than Jake Tapper. Here he was declaring Joe Biden's victory in 2020.
It has been a time where truth and fact were treated with disdain. It is a time of cruelty where official inhumanity, such as child separation, became the official shameful policy of the United States. But now the Trump presidency is coming to an end.
That's CNN's news guy. Little more than a Biden establishment surrogate. He almost cried there. Here was Jake Tapper's show back when they validated the fake Trump-Russia dossier.
Well, Jake, for the first time, U.S. investigators say that they have corroborated some of the communications detailed in a 35-page dossier compiled by a former British intelligence agent.
That was a big moment for CNN. Did Tapper ever apologize for pushing propaganda produced by Hillary Clinton? No. When Trump was convicted in New York on these ridiculous bookkeeping election charges, did Tapper point out the hypocrisy that Hillary's dossier payments were also called legal services? No. Tapper's co-moderator, Dana Bash, is exactly the same thing. Take a listen to her reaction when the Supreme Court decided to not allow Jenna Griswold, the Secretary of State for Colorado, to just unilaterally decide who should be the next president of the United States.
Unfortunately for America, the court isn't necessarily wrong that this is the way the framers wanted it to be. They wanted Congress, the people who are closest to their constituents, to be able to make the rules of the laws.
Unfortunately for America, the Supreme Court didn't allow a neurotic 40-year-old woman to force 6 million voters in her state to choose Joe Biden for president. Unfortunately for America. These are the two moderators for the first debate in a two-man race for president between Biden and Trump. That's them. Ironically, as Trump heads into very hostile territory, again, to be triple-teamed, they call him the danger to democracy, even as he's demanding even more debates on even more left-wing networks in some cases, wanting as much sunlight on this election process as possible. He's the threat to democracy. Just like his presidency, it was the same way, inviting all of us into the Oval Office, as Schumer and Pelosi so obviously loathe the transparency. What are these cameras doing in here? And much like the politicians they serve, CNN hates transparency as well. This morning, Trump's campaign press secretary was thrown off the network for pointing out how much the moderators obviously hate Donald Trump.
So it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently frequently likened President Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point.
And she had to get up so early to be on that stupid show. That was CNN's Casey Hunt there, a news anchor, with this header photo on her Twitter page, by the way. God, just kiss him already. When this morning's moment went viral, Casey got insecure and jumped online and wrote, "You come on my show, you respect my colleagues, period. I don't care what side of the aisle you stand on, as my track record clearly shows." What was disrespectful, though, exactly? That's what we don't really understand. Pointing out Jake Tapper as a subservient Democrat loyalist posing as a news anchor, that's not really insulting. She's just pointing out facts. Caroline didn't insult him. She pointed out Tapper's obsession with aligning Donald Trump with arguably the worst person who's ever walked the face of the earth, Adolf Hitler, something that's very easy to prove. Take a look.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler is once again alive and well on a national political stage. Open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. There's really no other way to say it. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly.
Yeah, let's just keep those borders wide open. Jake, I wonder how he feels about, more than half of the country now wanting Trump's immigration policies in place. So did Caroline Leavitt disrespect Jake Tapper, or is Jake Tapper just a very sleazy fake journalist? While you decide that, here is some actual disrespect. Casey Hunt, back when she was at MSNBC, deriving great pleasure from a Republican senator being put in the hospital by his deranged neighbor.
New details today on the incident that left Senator Rand Paul with 6 broken ribs. This might be one of my favorite stories, although, of course, we don't want to. Clearly, Senator Paul is still struggling. Paul's neighbor, Renee Boucher, is accused of beating the senator.
Yeah. So these are the stable, honest media types that scold Trump voters for imperiling our democracy. It's a nice look at who they really are. Right now, the machine is working overtime to spread the many lies and exaggerations about Donald Trump, and that's going to be one of their most effective tactics as we go into this election. They need to push a lot of negative stories that kind of never really happened. Here's Adrian Elrod on MSNBC as an example.
He wants to be a dictator on day one. He's also made it very clear, Alex, that if he doesn't win this election, there will be a bloodbath. And I know some of his aides have tried to say that we're overstating that. No, he said that in his own words.
The Biden campaign has exploited these two comments to such an unimaginable level. Trump's bloodbath comments were about the auto industry if Biden is reelected. She knows that. She just has no soul. His dictator comments were a clever quip about unleashing American energy and closing the border to chaos on day one. We'll show you both right here.
We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars if I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath.
They want to call you a dictator.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
for?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border, and I want to drill,
That's
drill,
not a, that's,
drill.
That's
Isn't that amazing? It really is amazing. More disturbing than the fact that they're counting on people being virtually brain dead to still support Joe Biden are the lies that these people are capable of spewing to win. Shameless politics. These are vicious people. In the last few days, fact-check Snopes finally admitted one of the greatest lies about Trump was really just a lie. The very fine people on both sides. One of the handful of comments that never really happened that they talk about all the time. Saying, no, Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. It took them 7 years to make this correction. All they do is fact-check stuff, and it took them 7 years. All they had to do was listen to a 30-second clip and hear Trump verbally and forcefully condemn white supremacists at that rally. It's amazing. Silicon Valley venture capitalist Sean McGuire tweeting out, I only saw the full clip for the first time today. Think about how many people he represents. How many people just aren't paying that close of attention. He says it's a must-watch. He literally condemns the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists. Billionaire Bill Ackman back on the Trump train after a hiatus of about 5 years, agreeing. Saying, yeah, agreed. I just watched it for the first time. How many millions of people never saw that comment or forgot what he said, didn't listen to the whole press conference? It's amazing to see this. It's like watching catatonic people awaken. We're seeing this all over the country right now.